So a part of me just feels that, both of us should always start this mantra together. So this is well-being, and of course we always have a daily confession. And what is that? Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Hello there, and welcome to Wellbeing, a program that keeps you updated on health issues and general well-being. My name is Emedion James, your health anchor. On today's show on Wellbeing, we are going to talk about a very serious and interesting topic, and that is mental health. Now, joining us on today's show is a clinical psychologist in the person of Deborah Olarinde Oyetunji. Now, but before I bring her up, I'll give you the opportunity to go get your pen and paper, because trust me, there is always something to learn on well-being. And also, I'd like you to send in your questions. Now, most times, people always send in the questions after the show. Now, if you send in your questions after the show, I will not be able to reach out to you. But if you send in your questions while the show is still on, it's a 1-hour show that is from 4:30 to 5:30, I will be able to reach out to you. Let's just go on a quick break to give you a time to go get your diary and your pen. And then when we return, we'll be joining our clinical psychologist very soon. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Wellbeing on Spectrum TV, and you're hanging out with Geraldine James, and I guess for today, Deborah Olarinde Oyetunji. I hope I really got this name right. And on today's show, we are going to talk about mental health. What really is this mental health? When did it become so common in Nigeria? And do you even know what mental health means? This and many more are, discussions that we are going to have with you today. Of course, our guest is on standby. Hello, Ma. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so because of time, I'm just going to hit the nail on the head at once. Now, the term mental health became popular, or should I say common in Nigeria after the pandemic, but not many people have really understood what this means. So my first question for you today will be, what really is mental health and how many types do we have? And I would appreciate if you explain it for us.
Okay, thank you for the question. Mental health, refers to a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own ability.
Okay.
That is, when you're looking at mental health,
Mm.
we are first of all looking at a person's ability. Can he or she identify his or her own ability?
Okay.
When we're talking about mental health, we'll go ahead and look at, can the person cope with normal stressors of life?
Okay.
When you're talking about mental health, still on the same definition, I'm only trying to break it down in such a way that our audience will understand.
Okay.
When we're talking about mental health, we're talking about productivity and being fruitful in whatever one is doing. When we're looking at mental health, we're looking at how a person can contribute, to his or her community.
Okay.
So putting it together now, we can now say that mental health refers to the emotional, the psychological, and the social well-being of the person. That is, when we talk about mental health,
Yeah.
we believe the way a person feels,
Yes.
Health. I think that.
Yes. Hello, I can hear you.
Yes. So that's what mental health is all about.
Okay. Now, I know that in a discussion about mental health, there are types. So what kind of mental health, illness do we have?
Okay. I guess we're talking about mental health conditions, rather.
Okay, yes.
Yes. I'll be explaining mental health conditions from two perspectives so that we can better understand.
Okay.
I'll be looking at, from the first perspective, I'll be looking at it from the aspect of neurosis and psychosis.
Okay.
In mental health, neurosis are mental health conditions that amount conditions. Are you with me?
It's right there, but I guess she'll be joining us very soon. She's still trying to explain, the conditions of mental. According to what she said, mental health has to do with literally everything: your physical, your mental, and social well-being. And guess what? If you do not get your mental health in order, you will not really be able to function properly in a society. And that's what we are talking about today. Hello, Ma. Are you with us? Okay, we are still waiting for her to get connected back to us. Now, I don't know about you. That's what I always say, get your diary, because there is always something for you to learn. Now, when she talked about mental health, she said it's the absence of productivity and ability to be fruitful. Now, how a person can contribute to the society. That means you could look at yourself, and if you know that you are not contributing, like, 50% at least to your community, there is something wrong with you mentally. And mental health is not just when you are mad and walking on the street. It goes beyond that. Ability for you not being able to give back to, the community. Now, in our course of discussion, we are going to look at, the earlier signs of mental health and the types of mental health conditions that we have. We're going to go on a short break so we could get connected back to our guests. Don't go nowhere. This is Wellbeing on Spectrum TV. Okay, welcome back. This is Wellbeing on Spectrum TV, and we're actually talking about mental health. We are going to look at the signs of mental health. I'd like you to go to, the number 2 questions that we will be asking her today. Hello, Ma. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hello, Dr. Deborah.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, thank you for joining us again. I know you're trying to describe you're talking about the types of mental health conditions that we have.
Yes. I was trying to say that I'll be explaining the types of mental health condition from two
Okay,
perspectives. From the first perspective, we have neuroses and we have psychosis.
okay,
Neuroses are mental health conditions. Mental health conditions under neurosis, they are quite mild, but any mental health condition that falls under psychosis is severe.
wow,
It's severe. Mental health conditions that falls under psychosis affect the person's personality.
okay, great. Oh, sorry for the delay in transmission. Network has not really been friendly. But then hopefully we can get back to our guests as soon as possible. We are actually talking about mental health and yeah. Hello Ma, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we are actually looking at the neuroses. Let's start with the mild. Now in when you say a mild mental health condition, what are there?
Okay, when I said some are mild, it means that they do not affect the person's personality.
Okay.
But for psychosis, conditions under psychosis affect the personality of the person. Conditions under neurosis do not involve harm to others or harm to self. Like the harms are very minimal. But for psychosis, you know, the harms are severe. The harms are quite severe for
Okay.
psychosis. Also, for psychosis, some of them are like genetically involved, you know. But for neurosis, it could be as a result of socioeconomic factors, psychological factors, and so on.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
you realize that psychological treatment, psychological therapy, maybe little use of medication would actually help to heal the person or will make the person get better. But you see, for psychosis, the person first of all has to go through medical treatment. You can't just go to psychological treatment directly. The person has to go through what? Medical treatment. That is to say that use of drugs has to come in at first before
Okay.
psychological treatment. This is to tell you that it's quite severe compared to the mild one, which is a neurosis.
Okay.
So also from the second perspective, should I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, from the second perspective, we have several, or let me say, we have several types of conditions. We have mood disorders, we have anxiety disorders, we have personality disorders, we have psychotic disorders, we have trauma and stressor related disorders, we have neurodevelopmental disorders, we have eating disorders, we have substance related and addictive disorders. We have a lot. But for the neuroses and psychosis, it's just a better way of explaining it to us.
Okay. Okay. I want to ask, how would you know that the mental health condition that someone is experiencing is mild or it's the more dangerous one. And when you say dangerous one, is it, where do we place people that are, literally walk on the street? Because when we talk about mental health, right, we always, our mind first goes to people on the street.
Okay, like I said earlier, actually it is not for a non-professional to be able to say that okay, it's mild or it's severe.
Okay.
The best thing is to visit
What
a
check up?
professional to diagnose. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes.
But in a layman language, the best way I can explain it is that when it involves harm to self, harm to others, it's affecting the person's personality. The person is totally becoming a different person from who you used to know the person to be. Then you should know that you need to seek for help.
Okay.
Yes. Because even as professionals, we just don't look at persons and just conclude. There are
Yes.
factors that we consider.
Okay, thank you so much. That explanation was really, really epic for, I like the fact that you really came down to the layman and then you brought everybody to the same page. Okay, so I don't know, but my next question will be, what are some of the misconceptions about mental health that often prevent people from seeking help?
Okay. There are lots of misconceptions about mental health, but I think I'll try to narrow it down to about 4 or 5.
Okay.
First of all, people have this misconception that it is just persons that are on the streets, maybe naked, picking death, that needs mental health treatment. Is actually a misconception.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that are well dressed, looking gorgeous and beautiful, that actually need mental health treatment. So it's a misconception to think that it is only persons on the street picking death or with this our way of describing somebody that is having mental health issue. Uh-huh. That's not the only thing that mental health is all about. Another misconception that people have is that it is, we are in Africa,
Yeah.
that mental health issue has to be treated spiritually by going to spiritual homes. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes, because we are Africans to some extent, but you know that science deals with empirical facts. So it's actually it involves biological factors, it involves psychological factors, it involves a lot of things. So it is actually much more advisable to visit the right place. And in most of these rehabilitational centers, we also believe in God. Do you understand? We
Yeah.
believe in the spiritual aspect, in the sense that we also put God factors, because we believe that we care, it is God that heals.
Okay.
Most times people don't even bother to come to the rehab because they have this misconception that okay, maybe it was an attack, it's a cause, it's this, it's that. So because of that, they prefer to go to their spiritual leaders.
Yeah.
They go to their spiritual leaders for prayers and all that. And in most cases, due to this misconception, you know, it makes it makes the treatment to get delayed. Instead of them coming for treatment immediately, some persons will be moving from prayer house to prayer house for about 10 years, 15 years, and maybe after trying and it's not working, then they can now resort to coming
You
to
can come
a
to hospital.
rehabilitational center.
Yeah.
Some persons also feel that mental illness is a sign of weakness. Yes, like it's a sign of weakness, and coming for rehab or coming for treatment too is a sign of weakness. But speaking out is actually a sign of what? Is a sign of strength. It's
Trent.
actually not a sign of weakness.
True.
Because just like anybody can have headache, anybody can also develop mental
Mental
health
health.
issues. I don't know if you
Yes,
understand what
yes,
I'm
yes. I'm
saying.
very with you.
Yes, just like anybody can have stomach pain or headache, anybody can have mental health issues. So, and some persons feel that mental health conditions is contagious. That's another misconception.
Wow.
Some persons feel that it is contagious. That's not true. It's not true. It is not contagious, but one can have it as a result of genetic factors or maybe hereditary factors, but it is not contagious. Then, some persons are of the opinion that maybe because somebody had a mental health challenge earlier on, if he or she makes a mistake, they the illness has come back again. No, so that's
Yeah.
actually a misconception. Anybody can make mistake, whether you've had an history of mental health challenge before or not.
Ah, thank you so
And
much.
there's this misconception that it affects maybe only adults.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's not true. We have it in children, we have it in teenagers, we have it in young adults, we have it in old age. There's also this misconception that mental illness is rare. Some persons believe it's very rare. That's not true. If you visit some rehab, you realize that especially government facilities, realize that there are a lot of persons with mental health challenge issues, and it's being managed. So it's just very few that actually gets to the public domain that we see on the streets.
Okay. Thank you.
Then there's also this misconception that people with mental illness, they can't be successful in life just because they had an history of mental issue and all that. That's not true. It's not true. Even with past history of mental illness, a person can still be successful. They can still do
Yeah.
well. They can still
Yeah.
achieve their goals and their aims.
Okay.
I think I should just stop there.
Thank you so much. I mean, like, see, the way you're talking right now, I'm being tempted to ask you to redefine mental health for the sake of people just joining the show. But this is a question I have in my mind. When does mental health illness get to a stage where someone literally has to walk on the road? In other words, my question is, what are the early signs of mental health illness that someone can see in somebody or see in themselves, and they can say, oh, I think my mental health needs proper care?
Okay. Things that you can see
Yeah.
that could help you to identify that someone is having mental health issues. We have emotional changes, we have behavioral
Okay.
changes,
Sorry, hold on,
we
hold
have
on.
cognitive changes.
Sorry, Deborah, when you say emotional changes, what do you mean? For the sake of, a layman or a little child listening to us right now, when you say emotional changes, what do you
I'm,
mean?
I'm going to I'm going to explain.
All right.
I'm going to explain.
Okay.
Okay, like emotional changes. When somebody is experiencing sadness or low mood consistently or persistently, yeah, it could it could be a sign. When somebody worries a lot or is experiencing fear, anxiety, it could be a sign. When someone is having this, hopelessness about the future, is so overwhelmed, saying things like, I don't think anything good can come out of this life again. This has to do with emotions. Eh? These are
Yes.
things that could show or reveal that something is actually wrong. Another thing we can look at, I said behavioral changes. When you notice that somebody used to be friendly, and all of a sudden, he or she does not want to associate with families, with friends, that could be what? It
Mental
could be a
health.
sign.
Mm.
When he or she suddenly loses appetite to eat, or he or she is even eating too much. Hello, are you with me?
Yes, yes, sure, I'm with you.
Yes, they are, like everybody, we have this portion or quantity of food that we eat on a regular basis.
Okay.
All of a sudden, somebody that that takes, let's say, a wrap of a swallow, suddenly tells you that he or she is not having appetite. First day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, you know, you need to watch out for that person. Another thing is that maybe the person takes, just small quantity of swallow. All of a sudden, the person now increased the quantity of food to a very large portion.
Hey.
And you are wondering why the sudden change. That could also be what? That
Mental health.
could be a
A
sign.
sign.
That could be a sign. And another thing to watch out for is when someone suddenly starts engaging in risky behaviors, self-destructive behaviors. It could also what? It
Be a
could also
sign.
send a signal that something is wrong. Another thing you need to check out for is cognitive changes. Cognitive changes. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you.
When a person suddenly, somebody that is usually very smart,
Okay.
in the office, does his or her thing rightly, and all of a sudden, the
Yeah.
person is having difficulty concentrating or making decisions, and it's becoming consistent. That means what? Something is wrong somewhere.
Somewhere.
When the person constantly have negative thoughts, you know,
Yeah.
criticizes his or herself, feeling that he or she is not good enough, that could also be a
A
sign.
sign. Okay.
When the person is meant to make critical decisions and he or she is telling you, oh, I'm confused, I can't just think of what to do, and it's becoming consistent. It's becoming consistent. It could also be a sign when the person complains of physical symptoms, like consistently complaining. No, not
Okay.
that you complain once. He or she keeps telling you, I don't know why, I'm just feeling weak,
Ah.
I'm just feeling tired. And you tell the person, please, can you just carry these small buckets? And say, I don't even have the energy to pick up this bucket. And you're wondering, just this small bowl, like, why can't you just carry? You say, I don't know why. I think I'm losing it. I think I don't have the energy. It could also be a sign. Consistently complaining of body aches for no reason. It could be a sign.
Okay.
When someone is not motivated, it could be a sign. It could be
Yeah.
social changes, like, like you know, anger outbursts, finding it difficult to maintain relationship. So these are some of the things that you can watch out for to know, oh, I think something has changed about this person, and we need to what? We need to check, we need to seek for professional help. I think
Okay.
let me just stop there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Deborah. I mean, I wish you can see what we look like right now in the studio. I mean, the treble eight is literally hitting every one of us because at some point, there's some days where you just find yourself eating so much, and there are some days where you just lost appetite. I won't even talk about worry. In this present economy, it's like all of us, literally every Nigerian will go for a checkup. But then my next questions will be, I'd like us to turn our attentions to depression for a moment because in my little research, I saw a report that says that 3.1%, including adults aged 18 years and above, have depressive disorder. That is over 6 million people in Nigeria out of 200 million people at some point in their life have experienced depression. So my question is, what is depression and what are the common signs and symptoms of depression?
Okay. Depression is actually a mental health condition, or you can say it's a mood disorder
Okay.
that is characterized by persistent feeling of sadness, persistent
Feeling of.
feeling of sadness,
Mm.
hopelessness, for some persons, anger, and lack of interest in pleasurable day-to-day activities.
Wow.
So depression is not that, is not actually like, oh, somebody is just sad. When you are sad, after like few days, maybe something happened and you are sad.
Okay.
After a few days, you're supposed to be fine. You just be like, oh, life moves on.
Mm-hmm.
Life moves on and moves on. So like, oh, I'm okay now, I'm fine. But you see, someone that is depressed, it's not like that for the person.
Mm.
It's not like that for the person. They actually find it very, very difficult to move on. They find it difficult to move on with their lives. So, irrespective of the kind of motivation you are trying to give to them, like, it's not just working. It's not just working. So, for when a person, these symptoms I'm about to mention, I've
Okay.
mentioned some earlier.
Okay.
I've mentioned some earlier. The symptoms I mentioned earlier, some of them are not, I did not really go through the chronic symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that once you see those little signs, you
Yes.
should just know that something is wrong. You should go and seek for a professional care.
Okay.
Yes. So for symptoms of depression, loss of interest in activities. Maybe this is somebody that enjoys cooking, or enjoys playing basketball, or
Okay.
enjoys football, and all of a sudden, you know he or she's telling you, he or she is not motivated, like, I'm not interested in that. And this is something that he or she has been doing for a very long period of time, that people know that this person likes this thing. Loss of interest in activities could actually be
A sign.
a symptom.
Okay.
Also, weight loss or
Wait.
weight gain. Weight loss or weight gain could
Okay.
also be a symptom of depression. Weight loss or weight gain. We have persons that it is when they are depressed that they usually gain weight. So it's not everybody that is when they are depressed that they lose weight. Some persons gain weight.
Yeah.
So you have to check that too. We also have insomnia or hypersonia. That
Okay.
is inability to sleep. They find it difficult to sleep, or he or she sleeps too much. Somebody that normal sleep routine of maybe 6 to 8 hours is now sleeping for 20 hours, and he or she wakes up and tell you, see, it's just looking like I need to sleep more.
Ha.
I'm not even feeling like I've slept enough. you know
Yeah.
that could be a sign or a symptom. Then, feeling of guilt, feeling of worthlessness, hopelessness could also be a symptom. Thought of death, telling you they just want to die, they are tired of this life.
Mm-hmm.
Or suicide attempts. Maybe one day the person wanted to take a poison, and you just call the person, you say, don't do that now. You now start doing counseling work yourself. You say, don't worry, this life is this. Or you just go and tell your pastor.
Mm-hmm.
In that kind of a situation, is a sign you need to seek for professional help. You need to seek for professional help.
Okay.
So there are a lot of factors. I think the
Okay.
ones I've mentioned
It's okay.
is quite
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you so much. So now I want to ask this question, like, like a layman right now. Now, how can someone seek for help? I mean, because I'm trying to picture somebody walking to a hospital to say, "Hello, ma, please, I've been feeling sad for like 1 week now." It sounds very weird, very strange. I mean, people only go to hospital to complain about headache or any, other illness. So when you say seek for professional help, What do you mean? And also, in your years of experience, I know you have encountered people with this negative pattern. What do you think they should do in order to challenge these negative thoughts that contribute to their feelings of hopelessness or worthlessness?
Okay. What can you do to in order to seek for help? Like, how can you seek for help?
Yes.
Because like, if I'm trying to understand the question,
Yes.
for most persons, it's easier to go to the hospital and complain that they're having stomach pain or headache.
Yes.
But to come to the hospital and
Yes.
complain that
You're feeling
I think
sad.
I'm not happy.
Exactly. In
Yes.
Nigeria. Oh.
First of all, I want us to understand that mental health is as important as your physical health. In fact, if I'm to rate it,
Okay.
I would say that mental health plays, like, if you are to even place it, your mental health is even much more important, because if your mental health is affected, your physical health will be affected.
True.
Mental health has to do with the brain. It is the brain that is a seat for decision making, for judgment,
Yeah.
So when somebody's mental health is affected, other aspects will also be what? It will be
Affected.
affected. So if you know that you value yourself, I feel that you are supposed to what? You are supposed to go and you are not supposed to even mind, like, you are not fine. The first thing you should do is what? You should try to see what you can do. How can you see what you can do? Is in two ways. You can decide to do your own first aid treatment,
Okay.
or you, depending on the severity, or go to the health clinic. And now the way the your setup is going for men, look like mental health facility.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
So it's now easier to seek for mental health treatment, because most of these facilities now do not even look like a mental health home. Majority of these private facilities now, they don't write maybe psychiatry or mental health whatever on their signpost. You just
Yes.
think it's a normal hospital. You just think it's a normal hospital. Like where I work now,
Yeah.
you will see it's medical center.
Okay.
That's what we have there.
Okay.
You will see medical center on the signpost. So it is those that are entering inside that know that it is a mental health facility. It is
Okay.
not the regular hospital where you go for child delivery. So when people are going out, nobody's going to look at you somehow that this one is coming from a psychiatric home, or it's coming from, sure you understand.
Yes.
And now we have a lot of online therapies too. If you don't want to come for a physical session or a physical care, you can contact a professional online.
Okay.
Sure you understand what I'm trying
Yes,
to
yes,
say?
yes, I'm with
So
you.
I feel that even there are some hospitals, like all these normal hospitals that you go to, when they check, they give you treatment and they realize that they're not getting better, they'll make referral.
Okay.
They'll refer you to a psychologist, they'll refer you to a psychiatrist, because they might feel that, with all this treatment that we have given you
You're
for
not.
physical condition and you're not improving, we think it's psychological. So they'll refer. So now I feel that nobody should feel stigmatized about what will I say when I get there. Just tell them how you feel. Tell them how you feel. It's about your life. It is your life. It is your life. If you know that you value your life, you should just, as in, don't feel ashamed to express yourself, to seek for help. And if it's something that you want to handle, maybe it's severe, sure you understand, it's not
Yes.
yet severe, Yes, one of the ways in which you can manage a situation that maybe something happened and it's getting to you is that you must learn to speak up.
Speak up.
Don't bottle up issues. Don't say I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I can handle it. When you feel unhappy, when you feel unusual, learn to express yourself to people that are trusted. Express yourself, tell them how you feel. Another thing you need to do is engage in activities, that will improve your mood,
Okay.
activities that will make you happy. Mm?
Yes.
Engage in activities that will make you happy, that will make you feel better. You can list engage in self-care. Self-care is also very
Very important.
self-care is also very important. It's another way of helping yourself. However, after trying some of these things that I'm talking about and you see that you're not getting better, just look for a facility that does not have maybe that does not have a stigmatizing name
Okay.
and visit.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, today's conversation has really, really been helpful. And this is me reaching out to you out there. If you have any question, try as much as possible to send in now that, the psychologist is here with us. Now, over to you, Deborah. What is the difference between clinical depression and feeling down or blue for just a few days? Because, at some point in your life, maybe someone very close to you passes away, there is always that feeling of sadness. So now, what's the difference between a clinical depression and just, normal feeling sad or a blue?
Clinical depression is mental health condition
Okay.
that needs urgent attention, urgent treatment. Feeling down is just situational. Maybe something happened and maybe for example somebody lost his or her job now. Sure you
Okay.
get.
Yes.
And now tomorrow you are being told that there's a vacancy somewhere, you should go and apply. On a normal norms, you are supposed to be happy that at least there's a solution to the problem. Do you understand what I'm trying to
Yes,
say?
yes,
There's
yes.
a solution. But maybe even after providing a solution, it's looking like, let's say somebody got by his or her boyfriend or whatsoever.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And toasters are coming. Toasters are saying, I like you, I love you. And this person is saying, see, just leave me alone. On a normal norms, if it's just feeling of sadness for a short period because of that situation, sure you
Okay.
understand.
Yes.
Immediately you start seeing, you notice that people are admiring you, new people are coming
We
your way.
move
What are you
on.
supposed to do?
Move
You're
on and
supposed
be
to
happy.
bounce back, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yes. But for clinical depression, it's not like that too. It's not like that. The person will just find it difficult to go back to their normal way of life. Do you get?
Yes.
They have this difficulty adjusting. So that's one of the major differences between clinical depression and having low mood or
Okay.
being sad.
Yeah, thank you so much, Deborah. Now, my next question will be, I mean, look at the situation in Nigeria. I don't know, from all that you've talked about, the signs that you mentioned today, I feel all Nigerians should at some point in their life go for medical checkup. But then again, if someone does not want to go to the hospital, I know earlier I heard you mention first aid. So what are the common first aid treatment to somebody who has just noticed these signs that you just talked about?
Please, can you come
So
again?
first aid. I know you mentioned first aid treatment for mental health conditions. If someone
Yes.
if someone does not want to go to the hospital or does not have any psychiatric hospital close to them, what are the first aid treatments that they can administer to themselves before they reach out to a professional?
Well, like I said on earlier, there are some that you can first aid treatment for. There are some that you need to get a professional
Okay.
when it comes to mental health. So some of the first aid could be that you practice deep breathing. let's say somebody that is experiencing anxiety, you know,
Yes.
he or she can practice deep breathing. Deep breathing. He or she can write down his or her thoughts and try to challenge it. He or she can take a break from work stress or family stress. That's why you see some people just feel like, oh, I think this thing is getting to me. I need to go on a vacation.
Okay.
Another thing you can do is positive affirmations. Like positive affirmation. For example, let's say it's affecting, maybe you're not doing well academically and it's getting to affect you. You can keep telling yourself, I know I'm smart, I know I'm intelligent, I know I'm going to pass this course.
Yeah.
I just need to put extra effort.
Yes.
Say positive things to yourself on a daily basis. That could also what? That
Help.
could also help. Engaging in exercise could also what? Could also help. You know,
Yeah.
eating healthy meals. Eating healthy meals could also help as a form of first aid treatment. Speaking out to speak, saying whatever is on your mind, saying it out could also be a form of first aid treatment. You know,
Yes.
treating yourself with kindness and patience could
Kindness.
also be a
Thank
form
you.
of
Thank you. Thank you for
first
that
aid
point.
treatment.
Yeah.
Engaging in creative activities like painting, listening to music, singing, and all that could also be a form of first aid treatment
Okay.
for
Th-
depression.
yeah, thank you so much. I mean, the conversations and all the insight that you've given on today's show has really, really been helpful. And I know that there is someone out there, I'm so certain, that is, motivated and is encouraged to reach out for professional help. But my next question will be, how do mental health challenges affect different groups? And are there specific concerns for children, adolescents, and older adults? Now, let me give you an example. I've seen in movies and I've seen on social media how children are very destructive. I've seen a video where a child literally went into a supermarket and, threw down bottles of wine. We've seen cases where children have carried a gun to school and they just start shooting. So do you think that this is a mental health condition, and how, can, your psychologist or anybody reach out to them?
Okay, we have mental health condition in different age groups. Like you said, we have the ones in children, we have in teenagers, young adults, we have in old age. For children,
Okay.
like the example you gave, it falls under conduct disorder.
Oh.
Children that are disruptive, you know,
Yeah.
they cause harm to self, harm to others around them. It's under conduct disorder. And such condition cannot be managed at home. Like, you cannot say you want to do first aid treatment. The person has to see a professional,
Okay.
because he or she has to be taught some things, behavioral modification, a lot of other, treatment has to come into place, and even medication for some of them.
Okay.
Medication for some of them. So, for such person with conduct disorder, if it's not well managed as a child, these are the people that when they become adults, they exhibit what we call antisocial behaviors. They exhibit what we call
Antisocial
antisocial behaviors.
behaviors. Good. Yeah, I can hear you.
So when you see an adult, maybe something transpired between he or she, he and the father or something, and the person goes ahead to pick up a gun or to pick up a knife.
Yeah.
It's possible that he or she has been exhibiting some behaviors while growing up as a child, but the
Okay.
parents will just, like, they were
Ignore it.
overlooking it. They were not taking it serious at that point. They were supposed to seek for treatment so that he or she does not what?
No,
grow
how?
up with that behavior
Okay.
into adulthood. Also, in children, we have learning disabilities. We have a lot of mental health conditions in children too, just the way we have it in adulthood. In adulthood, we have people that, or early adulthood, we have people that abuse substance. Sure,
Okay.
you understand? We
Yeah.
have people that abuse substance. In old age, we have dementia, Alzheimer, we have Parkinson, we have a whole lot. We have anxiety disorder, a whole lot. So mental illness is not a respecter of age,
True.
is not a respecter of gender, is not a respecter of social status.
Okay.
Anybody
Yeah.
can have mental illness.
Thank you so.
Anybody can have mental illness, and that
Yeah.
is why it is important to care for our mental health just the way we care for our physical health.
Yes. Thank you so much, Deborah. My last question is literally two in one, right? How can someone address the stigma surrounding mental health? And what do you think? I mean, what is your last words to people out there? What is the government doing, knowing fully well that mental health? Some people are still trying to understand what mental health means. What do you think the government is doing, or the government should do? And what is your last words to everybody listening to you right now?
Okay, the government is trying, but the challenge we are having is the fact that our cultures, our culture is actually influencing some of our decisions.
Okay.
Our religion is also influencing some of our decisions. So, for me, I would advise that we should all be open to informations about mental health. Most persons, once they just hear mental health, like they'll say, like, no, 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 no. I'm not interested. Like, we should be open to information. We should be open to information. Made this show that will make
Okay, I guess we lost Dr.
refrain from, so that we'll
Okay.
be able to manage. And leaders, not just governments, our religious leaders, our youth leaders, they should not just organize concert,
Okay.
comedy, mental health seminars. They should organize mental health seminars in our churches, in our mosque, in our clubs. Some clubs, they can call a, a GP example now, that okay, please just come and talk on this, but tell them to call mental health specialists, tell them to call a clinical psychologist. Please come and tell us, how can we manage stress with the economy of this country? Or please, how can we deal with family stress? How can we cope with our spouse? All these topics as a way of building up our knowledge
True.
and helping us to grow. Another thing that we should do is we should encourage people that we know that it looks like this person, there's a lot happening to this person. We should encourage them to seek for help too. We shouldn't discourage them. Don't discourage them, don't stigmatize them. Some of us, when you notice that somebody has gone to a mental health facility before and they just do one small thing like this, the way people react, like as if they are not humans. We should understand that it's not everybody that comes to mental health facility that maybe they're having chronic issues, or maybe it's a psychotic issue. Some persons are just here for family issues, maybe conflicts between husband and wife. Maybe they're having issues with their job and all that. So we should encourage them. We should support them. Social support. When people know that they have social support, they will not look down on them. It will be easier for them to what? for mental health care.
Okay.
So that's it. And people also should go for courses in those fields.
Yeah.
Some persons, they stigmatize, say, no, no, course, no, me, I don't want to do it, though. I don't want to. There are courses you can do in order to even, because when you have the information, the right information, you'll be able to what? Spread it to your family members.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for being a part of today's show. This is all that, we can share on today's topic on mental health. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show and for all the valuable insights that you have given to us concerning the show. Okay, that's all we have for you today on well-being. Now, I used to tell people, imagine if you had to pay for this information. Imagine how much you could have paid, but here we are bringing it to you in a platter of gold. It's been an exciting time talking about mental health issue. Now, one thing that she kept saying was seek professional help. And it's one thing that we always say on well-being. Don't take laws into your own hands and stop all the wrong assumptions and superstitious beliefs, And one thing about mental health, stop beating your child just because he or she is not as smart. And this is me speaking to all the teachers watching me out there. Please stop using abusive words on your children or your pupils and stop hitting them. Even though when she was talking about some mental health in children, I literally saw myself, my hand was doing like this. And that's wrong. That's very wrong. That's no way to help a child, especially a child that you've noticed has all the signs and symptoms that she has talked about. My name is Emedion James, and it's been an awesome time anchoring this show. Now remember, this is also your show. If you want to partner with us or sponsor the show, please reach out to me at Geraldine James on Facebook and Instagram at Geraldine_Geraldine1394. Also, if there's any topic you want us to talk about, kindly send in your questions or contribution to our social media page at Spectrum TV on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. Or a phone number will be displayed on the screen, and you can reach out to that phone number, and we will get to you as soon as possible. I am Emedion James, and thank you so much for being a part of today's show. I love you. Take good care of yourself. If you've noticed any of the symptoms talked about today, please reach out to a professional for guidance. See you guys same time, same station. Goodbye.